what you did, you little jerk.
So tell me, the one thing that fascinates me is the whole donation process. Where do you know where your specific donated liver came from?
Well, I do, but there's only a certain amount of stuff that you can actually find out, and this is what I've learned after, because I got involved in volunteering for. I'm an ambassador for One Legacy.
Ah, is that
Donate
the donation
Life.
company?
Right, it's
Gotcha.
Donate Life, and they're the organ procurement company.
Okay.
They're a nonprofit,
Okay.
and they basically, I went back to school to learn what happened, you know, and how the system works. And so you start to learn what happened as far as how did I get the liver, you know, what's the process. And then later I learned the other side of the process, known as if you're a donor. And when you put both of those systems together and see what you have to go through, it's even more of a miracle that it even happens, because it's so regulated and watched like a hound dog to make sure that all the proper procedures are done. One of the things, far as a recipient, okay, like I'd love to know who my donor family was.
Right.
Here's how the law works. Okay, I can write a letter and request. It takes both parties to agree to meet.
That
And
makes sense,
otherwise, they're protected by law and privacy laws. That if one says no, then it doesn't
So
work.
if the donor's family
You
wants
just
to
have to
remain
wait.
anonymous, then
Right, right.
yeah,
So it can't
that makes
be
sense.
a stipulation that you put in like prior to.
No, that's a law.
Okay.
It's
So
a
it can't be
strict
something
law.
like, okay, I only give you my, I only give you my organs if I can meet the people. It can't be something that you can work out beforehand. So
Well, in
it's-
this case, it's the
It's
the
a-
donator's family, because the liver is
Yeah,
not
so-
like
yeah,
a
so
kidney. You
it's
can't
a-
live without one.
Right.
So you know,
Right. So it's
when you
so it's
donate a
all
liver,
it's like,
means
even
you're
if you
dead.
would have liked to.
Well,
meet this
usually,
person-
well, even if
Sorry,
you're,
but it's true.
let's say, see, there is what's called a living donor, okay, which is you donate half of the liver, because you know God's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only organ
It's
that
something
can
that can
regenerate
regenerate.
itself.
See, I
Okay,
didn't even know that.
so a lot of the infants and babies they get half livers,
Oh,
and that's how that
Okay.
works. But the process behind it is still, if you decide, oh, okay, I'll donate half, but I want to stay anonymous, then that's the way it goes.
Right. Right.
But most living donors don't mind.
Right.
You know, and they like to, a lot of times it's family members, a lot of times it's not. But when it comes to the liver, in my condition, the way it works is you if you're in a waiting period to wait to get one, for instance, I need a liver. So how do I do that? Well, you have to sign up at the hospital, and you get the doctors say, okay, you need to be on the transplant list. So you go on the transplant list, and then there's a thing called a MEL score. A MEL score is something that the federal government and all the agencies involved have come up with a fair way of someone getting a liver, not based on money, sex,
Or age,
age,
right.
status, or
Yeah,
nothing.
Gotcha.
Because basically what you are is a number. And that's the organization that governs that's called UNOS. And what they are, they're federal. And what they do is they give you a number. And you're in this file, and the only thing that's in that file is your number and the condition you're in.
Okay.
Okay? You don't have,
So it's anonymous.
it's
in
very
that way,
anonymous in
yes.
that situation.
And the number itself, I assume, is a medical number based on how, tell us what it's based on.
Well, that number there is your MEL score number.
Yeah. What is the MEL score based on, just roughly,
The MEL score is actually based on 3 different parts of your blood test. And watch me mess this up. I usually don't get this question. It's technical.
Yeah.
It's wow, I can't talk tonight. It's the jaundice in your eyes. That's
Okay.
one.
Yep.
And the other one is
Vitamin K.
another chemical as far as the level of ammonia.
Okay.
Another one is the platelets in your blood.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. that.
And I may have screwed that up, so I apologize, but you can look that up on unis.org. And they use those
Okay. Those
to
are the three that
measure
give
the
you-
level
Yeah.
that it's affecting you chemically,
Mm-hmm.
okay? The liver is like your pharmaceutical,
Mm-hmm.
okay? It does so much
Yeah.
that we take for granted.
Mhm.
If I'd known that, I'd taken better care of it,
Mhm.
you know? Because it does a lot.
Mhm.
And when it doesn't work, you know what it's
Yeah.
doing.
I mean, it's the center
Really
of the
miss-
poison control,
Right, yeah.
you know,
It's
systems
your
of the body.
filter.
It's the filter,
Right,
like you said.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes in all the nutrients and takes and shoots out all the nutrients.
Yeah.
It separates the good from the bad.
Mhm.
And all the toxics that come in, including alcohol and drugs and everything that goes in,
Yeah.
goes through it.
Yeah.
And it filters it all out and distributes it. Some go this way, some go that way.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when it's not working properly, then the chemicals don't go where they're supposed to go.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then other toxics will build up,
Yeah.
like ammonia,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is nasty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
nasty.
I don't want to lose track of where we're going.
Yeah.
The
But no, in terms
But that's
of
what the
that's
UNIS
what the MEL
number
score
is.
Yeah,
But
okay.
there's another way to get higher up on the list,
Yeah.
and that's to go into a coma.
Ah. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
people ask me, well, how long did you wait? I said, a week.
Mhm.
What? I was in a coma. Oh.
Right,
Yeah.
because I mean, you watch on TV and like those medical dramas and people that
They're not all accurate.
well
Yeah.
exactly, and then you see these people that are on the waiting list, but then because by some miracle something happens and they're shot.
They
to the
shot
top.
right up. Yeah.
And so like how I guess I'd be curious to know like how accurate is that, because you just stipulated like one condition, like if you get into a coma then you would get bumped up.
Right.
So
And I was getting to the rest of it.
I'm sorry, I
No,
interrupted you.
that's fine, because I love the questions, because I want to make sure I touch on all of them, because there's so many questions out there. One is to be in a coma. A coma basically says you only got so many days to live.
Right.
Okay. The other one it could be is you could be having other effects to your body, like lack of breathing, or the esophageal. That's what makes you go nuts. From the
Yes.
oxygen levels
Right.
get up there, and there's other conditions. And what it's based on is coma or how severe case you are.
Okay.
Okay. And then that can bump you up.
Mhm.
You won't beat out a coma most likely, but you could get bumped further up.
Yeah.
And see, the way it works is a liver comes available, okay? And so then what UNIS does is they call around in their region, which is like 5 states,
Mhm. Mhm.
who needs a liver, okay? And so they'll call this hospital and this is, we need one. And so then they'll tell them what they have, and if it fits, he accepts it. But he has to accept it.
Mhm.
Has to be the right blood type is the main thing, and size. If you're a real small person, you
Right.
can't take a big one. If you're
Right.
so that's the two speculations when it
Yeah.
comes for a liver.
Mhm.
No elephant livers here.
Hey, the first
So-
heart transplants, they tried pig hearts. And
So
it
he
wasn't
may-
worked. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he may say,
know
no,
that.
They're
I'm
about
gonna
the same
I'm
size
gonna
thing.
pass on this one. And what they do to evaluate that is how bad is my patient,
Mhm.
okay, and is this the best liver I can get,
Mhm.
okay? So let's say he's still in pretty good condition, so he passes it, so it goes to the next hospital,
Mhm.
and so on until somebody says, oh yeah, I'll take it,
Yeah.
Okay.
okay? So in a way, it's kinda like winning the lottery on top of it, when
Right.
you look at the circumstances. One of the bad statistics that I hear from UNIS and the information that's available out there is for the odds and the percentages of a person that needs one, and it's 1 in 7 now actually will get the liver
Mhm.
in time. So it's pretty nasty.
The other 6 don't make it.
The other 6 don't make it because they didn't get it in time. And timing is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I know I'm a miracle, because God said, I'm not done with you yet.
Mhm.
You're too much of a heathen. I'm going to wait. Your room is no way near done. So he let me live. You know, I went further than most did
Yeah.
in the condition I was.
Mhm.
So that's the way it works, far as who gets it first or whatever. If there isn't one that really needs it, then it's the next one in line off of the list.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they'll call them in to be what they call the backup guy.
Gotcha.
Because they'll do that sometimes where they actually get the liver and the doctor says, nah, I really don't want to put it in this guy.
Yeah.
And I'll take it. Then he
Okay.
can get it.
Yep.
You see? They don't want to let it go to waste by
Right.
any means.
Obviously.
And sometimes it's called what we call a step liver, meaning I know one of the ladies in the group of transplant people that I know from our group is that she had what's called a step liver, meaning that she was ready to die. So they gave her anything that would work and put it in there to save her life. And then 2 days later, she got the real one.
Ah,
Oh.
gotcha. That's
Okay.
Now, out of curiosity, could they reuse the step liver that was in her for 2 days and someone else? No.
No.
So it's just
okay. So once it's been implanted into
That's
somebody,
it.
that's
Okay. Okay.
And I asked that
Gotcha.
question too because
Right.
I'm a donor.
Right.
You know, I'm
Yep.
on the list. I'm
Yep.
a donor. If there's anything there that they can use,
Yep. Any organs?
You
It
can
just-
have
it. Just
it.
can't be your liver.
it won't be my liver.
Right.
That's the only one
Okay.
they won't get.
Makes sense.
And it's because of, again, God only gave us so much. Okay.
It's amazing we can replace these
think-
organs once, let alone.
It's amazing
you know.
they do what they do.
Right.
The operation takes anywhere on an average of 8 to 10 hours.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
So anyway, it's all the best way to explain it for me is plumbing. Okay, you've got let's say a tube that comes down at this size. Okay, it's got to connect to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was part of the problem I had was the liver connections were too small for my opening.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and so they do have to cut to make it so that they can sew it.
Yeah.
And imagine sewing the blood vessels together and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Just amazing. So that is why I say no. God only makes us perfect once. After that, you know, He might have a hand in it,
Right.
but
You
it's
can always
not
make
perfect.
a Frankenstein, but it's
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
look like a normal
Exactly.
person. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there are situations where the one that she got first was just because it was not a perfect liver.
Right.
It wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, so they
But
used
she
it-
wouldn't have
But
lasted
it bought
either.
her
So,
a little
yeah.
extra time just
Right.
Right.
until the
So
right
what
one
they
came
were
in.
doing was getting it there to give her a little more time till another one came along. And
So it's kind of-
thank God for her. It
Yeah.
did.
So it's kind of like the.
And she was in the hospital the same time I was. She came out. No, she went in. No, she came out just before I went out.
Okay.
She came in before I went out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I've been working with her with Donate Life ever since, which is now going on 12 years.